Ladies and gentlemen, it's Tito Clock. So please welcome your host, James Deacon.
No music today. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. It's Tito Clock, and we're here all the way through till 6 p.m. tonight. I'm Tito James, and I've got the whole crew with me today. We've got X, Y, and Z all on board. So all we need now is you. That's it. Simple as that. And we've got a bunch of stuff to get through. And we've got like our normal news. We got Free Plug Friday. And we've also got a really cool raffle today. The raffle today is going to be a dash cam. That's right. A super cool dash cam from Transcend. And somebody's going to be walking away with that. But today we've also got a pretty serious topic that we're going to be covering throughout the, not the whole hour, but we'll probably spend about 20, 30 minutes on it, depending on the time. It's a very serious issue brewing right now in BGC, but it's more than just about something that's going on in BGC or a particular area. It's raising a lot of attention to animal cruelty, or let's just make it a little bit, how do we say it, a bit nicer, perhaps more humane ways of treating animals, especially when trying to work with them in communities. Okay, we understand there's always going to be some tension between animals and humans when you're trying to inhabit the same place, and not everyone's an animal lover, but we do have laws, we do have rules, and we do live in a society, so there are proper ways to do things like that. But we'll be talking a little bit more about that later on. I think it's a great topic that I would love you to stick around for, because I think you could learn a lot. I did in just the research of it and just talking to a few people, so I think you could learn as well. So for that, Oh, Mayan's there. Okay, Mayan. All right. But it didn't feel right to start the show if Mayan wasn't there. That's right. Because Mayan is our original Tita Clocker. I think she has a perfect attendance record here at Tita Clock since the very beginning. She's even been to the studio. So hi, Mayan. Now it feels like it's official. We can kick things off. Let's say hi to a few more people. Erica Fran, Maria Andrea Mendoza, Ron Lexter Kua, RJ Gallardo. Who else we got there? Joe Vincent Bermudez and Leslie Ledesma. Whole bunch of people tuned in. Marion is also there. Thanks, guys, for being there. I went live on TikTok today. That was kind of cool. I hope if there are any TikTokers out there, let me know, especially if you were on the live feed this morning. That would be super cool if we saw each other again here today in the afternoon as well. So there, I think we've pretty much done all the housekeeping to begin with. And now all we need now to kick things off and make it formal is to get the latest in headlines. And for that, we need Chris. Chris, bring it on. Just make sure it's good news.
Yes. I hope so. Happy Friday, everybody. And hello, Tita James. The weekend is here. But first, here are today's headlines. The Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, or PHIVOLCS, reported today a total of 113 volcanic tremor episodes in Taal volcano over the past 24 hours. PHIVOLCS put Taal under alert level 1 and warned the public that sudden steam-driven or phreatic explosions, volcanic earthquakes, minor ashfall, or expulsions of volcanic gas can occur. Entry into Taal's permanent danger zone remains prohibited, especially the vicinities of the main crater and the Daang Castilla fissure. Several residents living on Taal Island were evacuated last week as a precautionary measure due to the volcano's recent activity. On February 17, PHIVOLCS warned of another potential phreatic eruption from Taal volcano, similar to what happened early last year. PHIVOLCS is urging concerned local government units to continuously assess and strengthen the preparedness of previously evacuated barangays around Taal Lake in case of renewed unrest. Civil aviation authorities must advise pilots to avoid flying near the volcano. The power rate in the Manila Electric Company, or Meralco franchise, is expected to go down on March 2021, mainly due to the refund ordered by the Energy Regulatory Commission, or ERC. The Meralco official said the assessment factored in ERC's approval of the 13.89 billion peso refund to Meralco customers over 2 years. Meralco Vice President and Head of Corporate Communications Joe Zaldariaga said the March power rate will already include the average refund rate of 15.28 peso per kilowatt hour as part of Meralco's distribution rate true up. Meralco received last week a copy of ERC's January 27 order granting its application to issue a provisional authority to implement the refund in approximately 24 months starting March. Meralco's overall rate this month for a typical household decreased by 0.0704 peso per kilowatt hour, equivalent to a decrease of around 14 pesos in the total bill of residential customers consuming 200 kilowatt hours. The lower rate is mainly attributed to the decrease in the generation cost pulled down by lower fixed charges from the power supply agreement. A gorilla and two lions have tested positive for COVID-19 at the Prague Zoo, which is closed amid lockdown restrictions in the country. Director Miroslav Bobek said on his Facebook account that lions Jamvan and Suchi and male gorilla Richard tested positive today. Symptoms of the lions and gorilla have been mild so far. The lions have a cold and cough. Richard is tired and lost his appetite. Bobek said the animals were most likely infected by staff and other animals. Prague Zoo was in touch with other zoos that have seen COVID-19 cases. In January, a troop of gorillas at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park suffered from an outbreak of COVID-19, causing 8 members of the group to get sick. The Czech Republic has faced a renewed surge in COVID-19 cases that has pushed its infection rate among the highest in the world on a per capita basis. Pop superstar Lady Gaga is offering a $500,000 reward for the return of her French bulldogs, Koji and Gustave. The bulldogs were stolen in a violent altercation in Los Angeles that left a man fighting for his life on Thursday, February 25. Gaga was in Rome filming a movie when the dogs were stolen. The Los Angeles Police Department confirmed that two French bulldogs were stolen at gunpoint from a 30-year-old man on Sierra Bonita Avenue in Hollywood Wednesday night. The LAPD said the man, identified in multiple media reports as the singer's dog walker, was shot with a semi-automatic handgun and remains in critical condition. A third dog, Miss Asia, escaped and was later recovered. Those were today's headlines. Now, I hope you're zen and centered, Tito James, because it's time to look at the inbox.
All righty, let's do it.
You ready?
Be kind to me.
Hi. Okay,
We already
the
have a
first
sensitive
one.
issue happening here. And go ahead.
First one we have is the perfect fit vehicle on a
Uy!
gutter.
Uy! Oh my gosh.
Yan.
Wow. That's pretty that hurts. Is that an FJ
Another,
Cruiser? Oh,
uh,
sakit yun.
not sure.
Looks
Parang,
like an FJ Cruiser.
mhm.
Yeah. Wow, how did he end up
Uh,
there? Or I don't know.
feeling ko hindi niya
That's
nakita
bad.
yung daan.
Oh, it is
There
an
you go.
FJ Cruiser. Oh my gosh, but you know what? That looks looks like a very strange place to put a canal. I'm just, just
Yun nga
playing
eh.
the casual here. I'm just like, wow, that's a strange place to put an open canal. Doesn't seem to have anything around it. I mean, you should also
Mm-mm.
drive carefully. I'm not saying that the FJ has nothing to do with it, but yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
of
see
course.
anything around that's blocking a car
Yeah,
from
walang
entering that, or a person or a bicycle
walang
or a
signage eh. So anybody
parang
could
walang
fall.
barrier rin.
Yes.
Anyway, sakit yun.
That's true.
Wow.
Okay. Sana okay lang silang lahat. Okay.
Oh. Next.
Next, we have the e-bike counterflow. Very dangerous, guys. Do not do this. I've seen one in person. I've
Uy,
seen,
si Kuya. Ay, nako. Ate
ayan,
pala yun.
si
Oh my
ate.
God,
Yes.
ate. Ate, what are you doing?
I've seen two
Yeah,
of
my
these
God, these people.
somewhere in Aurora.
Oh,
And yeah, scary.
that is just a sign of and there's two ways to look at this, Chris, because on
Mhm.
the immediate, we all react to the same thing. I bobo, I kamote, I this, I that. And that's all
Yes.
fine and dandy. That's all correct, because that is
Mhm.
kamote behavior, right? But
Yes.
having said that, I also tend to, not to take away from the idiocy that I'm seeing here, but there's also a responsibility for the Land Transportation Office to develop guidelines for these people, because it's obvious that they're using them. So why be so
Mm-hmm.
vague about them? Come up with a guideline already on
Yes.
where they can and cannot use them, and enforce it. And then, more importantly, develop some kind of a program where you want them to be used. So you influence the behavior that you want to see on the road. But
Yes.
as it is, they don't say anything. So in a way, it's free for all. Again,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not covering for this kamote here, because that's that's common sense. But we can approach it two ways, and I think simultaneously. I think we should also really be getting on our Land Transportation Office as well to make sure that we come up
Yeah.
with guidelines and education programs. Can't
Mm.
all just expect everyone to understand straight away, even though that is plain and simply common sense. But still, that's not very
Yeah.
common anymore. Okay,
Totoo, totoo.
next.
I agree. I totally agree. So the next one is banking pa more, but has nothing to do with money.
Uy,
Here we go.
please tell me. Please tell me.
I just go.
Oh, no, didn't happen. You know what I was thinking, right?
No,
No,
no.
didn't happen.
Ganyan lang.
I can't say it aloud because it's not the nicest thing to say. But what the hell's wrong with these
Why?
people?
Why
Why?
there?
Ang
Why
yabang,
there?
ang yabang.
Uh-oh.
I really hate that with a passion. It's like, what are you doing? Like
It's not
what are you doing? Maybe they're
I,
chasing
I
data. I don't know.
same
That's just
question.
ang tanga mo lang. It's just when you look at it. Imagine being behind this and going,
Mm-hmm.
all right, and
Saan ka
anong
pupunta?
meron? Oh, anong meron? Saan ba si
Nag-
Piduts or whoever you're supposed to be, doing this kalokohan for? Because I can only see one, and it's not even the best use of it, but I can only see one use for that, and that's literally when you're trying to make way for somebody super duper duper important who is allowed to use, by the way, a Hagad,
Mm.
which is really only the president, vice president, chief of the armed forces, and I think there's one more person under Presidential Decree 96 that are allowed to use a Hagad with a wang wang. I'm pretty
Mhm.
sure that none of those people were here when this was happening. And just look how stupid you look when you're just doing. Sorry, I better stop that. Make
Okay
it
lang.
red tag pa.
Okay lang yan. Okay lang yan. Kasi
Okay na, okay.
the next one, mas nakakainit ang ulo.
Before you go to
The
the next one,
next
before
one
you go
is
to the
the,
next one, well, what is it? Maybe it's the
okay.
one I'm thinking of. Which one is it? Is it the bike?
It's a video.
Show it.
It's
Show it, because it might be the
Kawatan.
same one I'm thinking of. Go.
Not sure. Let's see. Kawatan
No,
ng
it's not
Grab.
this one. So I can save my cuento after this. This is
And
what you
nakakahiya.
call snatch and
Nakakahiya
grab.
yan.
Oh, snatch and grab to.
Okay.
Akala mo may delivery. Ay, naku, may baril si kuya.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, the grab here, we don't know if this guy is an imposter. We have no idea if he
Yes.
just stole the bike, stole the box. So, I don't think we should automatically see
Oh,
this as a reflection on
yeah. He
Grab
could have.
or any of our delivery drivers. I could be wrong,
Mhm.
of course,
Oo.
but I think the safest, most prudent thing is to not assume that this guy is a Grab. Let's not bring the whole
Mhm.
company down just because of one angot like that.
Yeah. And if
The
you
one I was gonna
listen
tell you
to the
about was,
audio, yeah.
oh, what's the audio say? I
Sorry.
didn't hear the audio.
Yeah.
What?
No, kasi if you listen to the audio of the video, the one taking the video was saying they did that. So when you're in the situation na, it's
Of course.
natural na you get frozen. Nakakatakot eh.
And I'm
So,
assuming,
ayun. Anyway, what's your
well, this
kwento,
looks like
Tito?
CCTV. This doesn't look like somebody with his cell phone. So
Yes.
very easy to say that
No,
from the
I
comfort
mean
of your
the one
lounge
take video
chair
from the
2 days
CCTV.
after. Yeah, so he's videoing the CCTV. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, if he's videoing the CCTV, yeah, I'm tapang. We can be very tapang. I can be very tapang right now, sitting in my studio, away from the mugger, and saying what you should have done. We all have hindsight in 2020 vision. We all have 2020 vision in hindsight, don't we? Ay, nako. The one I wanted to share was the
Yeah.
one of the NLEX. There are always, I think it's Cavitex or NLEX. It's one of the tollways where a motorcycle was doing the same thing as those HPG or those guys were on the bikes. Not as aggressive, but doing the banking,
Okay.
ganon, and wipe out right in front of the dashcam car. Like it was a spectacular wipeout because when he wiped out this way, he what they call high side. When you do this to a bike
Mm-hmm.
and the bike flicks, the
Mm-hmm.
passenger flies off because that's what they call a high side. And he flew in front of the Innova. It's a good thing the Innova was able to brake in time
Yeah.
because he literally imagine you're driving on the expressway and not a motorcyclist, but the rider without the bike flies in front of you because he made this
Mm-hmm.
banking on your suicide because it was not the passing side, it was the suicide. He did the banking there, boom, high side. So all he saw was a body flying across over his hood in
Yes.
front of him. It was
Is
spectacular
that the one
and
posted?
just crazy at the same time. Wild. Yeah, I posted that and I thought that would have been that's
Hi.
what I was expecting to see with the other with the HPG. But anyway, I don't want to be cruel. We don't wish anybody harm on the show.
Yeah.
Not all.
Ah,
Okay, Chris.
guys. Ay,
You got
nako,
anything else
guys.
there? Okay, we got one more.
Okay, the last one is called Kiss and Make Up. Kiss and Make Up on the road.
Oh, how
There we
sweet.
go.
How sweet those Jeeps. Oh, look at that. I'm guessing nawala na naman ang preno. Grabe, oh. Look at that. And you know something about these Jeeps here, right? When you hit there's a bit of a misconception from some, not all. A lot of people already get this, but some people still think that because these Jeeps are made of steel that they're safer because matibay, diba? That's what some people think in their head. Oy, bakal yan, matibay yan. No, 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 no. That's not how this works, right? When you have an accident, energy has got to go somewhere. That energy will either be absorbed through crumple zones through a well-designed
Mm-hmm.
vehicle, or in a case like this, you are the crumple zone. That's as simple as that. Because there's nothing to absorb that energy. It's pure bakal. So guess where that energy is
Mm-hmm.
going? You. That's right. That's why we don't.
Yeah.
That's why modernization is so important. Because this is just even minor accidents like this can be fatal, whereas
Mm-hmm.
they won't be in a well-designed car. So anyway, I'm sounding very
Hi.
keto right
Anyway, it's okay. Anyway, that's
now.
all we have for today, Tito James. I hope you have a wonderful
Thanks.
weekend and everybody
Thanks.
stay safe and healthy. Don't be kamote. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, everyone.
All
Bye,
right, Chris.
Tito.
Have a good weekend. All right. That was Chris with the latest in headlines and part of our inbox as well, which we like to do every now and again, just to sort of keep abreast with what's going on out there in our society. Speaking of our society, a lot of you might already tuned in right now, might be familiar with what we call our Free Plug Friday. This is something that everyone looks forward to on a Friday because it would be strange if we held it on any other day, right? This is basically our tiny little way of supporting the community and just being able to help those, especially who have pivoted. I can't stress that enough. Anyone who has pivoted and doesn't have the budget to get their marketing done, well, we're here for you. We want to just do our little bit to help you out. We'll produce this plug and include you. Just send your entries into Deaconitis at Instagram, or just look for Deaconitis on Instagram, should I say. You see it scrolling there. That's the spelling. If you want to be part of Free Plug Friday, you can send the message there. X will be the first to see it. And by all means, we'll be very happy to help you out. It costs you nothing. Obviously, if it's something like food and stuff and you want us to try it, that's all it will cost you is, well, the food to try. Otherwise, we can just have to use our imagination. But happy to help. But if you've never seen a Free Plug Friday before, this is what it looks like. And for that, we need XX. What you got in the box there, X?
Hi, Tita James. We actually have a lot in store once again. But before we go there, I just want to say hi to all of Tita Talkers. Welcome to another edition of Free Plug Friday. All right, feast your eyes on the screen. First, we have a red cake. So dessert comes first today. So what we have are these low-carb, sugar-free desserts from Aretz Cakes with flavors like the chocolate dream cake, peanut butter dream cake, cheesecake with choco fudge base, and the choco coffee dream cake. Honestly, I love the taste, texture, and consistency of the choco coffee dream cake and the cheesecake with choco fudge base. As you can see in the picture, even Rocket was trying to get a taste of it, even though he's not allowed to eat chocolate. Sorry, Rocket. Sorry, Rocket. Today's not your day. Also love the fact that these all come in an environmental friendly container, as you can see here on the photo. So talk about being environment conscious while providing good dessert. Price starts at 350 pesos for each, so hope you can check them out. Our Red Cakes on Facebook and Instagram. Next, we go to Santa Ana Bake Shop. Santa Ana Bake Shop offers the original Patera salted egg buns. It's basically a Pinoy spin to the Chinese themed custard bun. So it's made out of this pillowy soft bread with a sweet and salty egg custard filling with salted egg on top. Tito James.
I saw you walking around with that.
One word.
I know it must be good before you answer.
One word. It's just
because you didn't share.
one word. No sharing. So it's one word I can describe. Deadly.
Really?
Deadly. It was just like when I got here in the studio with James, it was already refrigerated because it's been there since I think yesterday. Not sure if you were able to try, but
no. That's and it's still an open wound. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Sorry.
Fresh.
It's still fresh. So
I've never seen X like photograph stuff in another room locked. Yeah.
Locked away, just making sure he doesn't get or see me enjoying it too much because I'm sure you're gonna want to have the taste. Sorry, Tito James. But anyway, guys, I had to heat it for about 15 to 20 seconds in the microwave, and you could just see it melting like a volcano. And inside was this. Oh God, the feeling was just really insane. I can't describe it any further. I've never tried anything like this before, and I would recommend this definitely as a snack partner or it's perfect with coffee, Tito James. I mean, hope you could try it.
I hope so too.
Or whatever's
really
left
hope.
of it.
Like really hope, yeah. And we could have been there already, but
sorry, Tito James. You know, you snooze, you lose. That's what they say. All right, price starts at 220 pesos for a box of 6 and 420 pesos for a box of 12. Hope you can check them out. Santa Ana Bake Shop on Facebook and Instagram. Next. For sisig lovers out there who want to enjoy sisig at the comfort of their homes, we have Sisig OK PH. Tito James, since I don't eat pork and I've not been eating pork since 2004, tell me your thoughts about this, Tito James.
Well, pork hasn't changed much since 2004, X, but sisig is if you're a fan of sisig, you're going to appreciate all styles. They have like the sisig spring rolls. I kind of like that. I like it when they reinvent it a little bit, so that was kind of yummy.
Yeah, so you can see yummy enough for Rocket to want to be like begging if
I'm sorry, I know he's your boy, I know he's your kid, but he's not a good gauge because Rocket goes for everything. Everything.
You're right.
It's not really fair to say, Rocket went for this. Rocket will go for the flesh in your bone.
Oh.
Yeah. So he's the kind of dog that will just love to eat anything. What do you say in Tagalog? Sarap of eating. Is that how you say it? Well, it's so nice to feed them. Because he's just so, happy.
I can't even think of the Tagalog word, but yeah. He eats anything he sees.
Yeah, so basically, anyway, he liked the sisig too. He can eat pork.
Okay, guys, for other people out there who are not like me, you can also try, apart from the sisig spring rolls, you can also have the sisig itself. So basically, they have sisig buddy that's good for up to 3 people. And if you're looking to share with your family, small group of friends, they also have a sisig feast that's good up to 15 to 18 people. But I'm not sure if that's what IATF allows nowadays, right? All right, guys, price starts at 180 pesos for the sisig buddy and 1,600 pesos for the sisig feast. They also have a stall in Katipunan if you're in the area, but if not, you can always check out their Facebook and Instagram. It's Sisig OK PH. Next, we go to Handmade by Robiso. So this is a business that actually started only a few weeks ago, Tito James. Imagine this free plug Friday send us a request, and their business just started like a few weeks ago. So it's a handmade scrunchie that's made of satin and silk that come in different colors and sizes. And interesting,
Scrunchie? Is that like for your hair?
For your hair. So pantali ng buhok.
How come how come you can put like money in there?
Because they have a scrunchie that has a zipper where you can stash like money and small things. Isn't that pretty cool?
That is a really good idea.
That's a good idea, James. So guys, price starts at 20 pesos for 3 small crunchies and 50 pesos for the pocket scrunchie. For now, they only have Facebook, so hope you can check them out. Handmade by Robbie So. Last but not least, so we started with something sweet, and it's only but right to end with something sweet as well. So what we have here are Tasty Bites by Pearl. So she sells home baked goods such as cream puffs, brownies, and Sylvanas. And apart from this, they also sell, which is oddly enough, handmade perfumes.
Handmade perfumes. That's so nice. So they got sweet and scents. Right?
Sweets and scents.
Wow.
So they can go hand in hand.
So cool.
Yeah, it actually is pretty cool because they can actually mimic the same smell as the signature scents out there in the market. So, I mean, hope you guys can check them out. I haven't tried it myself, but for you guys out there, price starts at 180 pesos for the cream puffs, 160 pesos for the Sylvanas, 220 pesos for the brownies, and 200 pesos for each handmade perfume.
What do they make like a brownie perfume? Because that would be like, I'd get that. I think
Brownie perfume.
I'd like
Hey,
to
I
smell
want to
like a
smell like a
brownie.
brownie.
I'd love to smell like a brownie.
Brownie, like smelling like a brownie is like
It's
really good.
universal. That's universal appeal.
And accepted everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah, it's not
Everywhere.
like other
No,
fruits out
everyone
there.
loves the smell of a brownie.
Oh, yeah. Hey guys, that's a good idea. Tasty Bites by Pearl. Maybe you'd like to consider that instead.
But
Inspired by Tito James, the Tito Talker. Anyway, guys, hope you can check them out. Tasty Bites by Pearl on Facebook and Instagram. Alright, guys, stay safe and always sanitize Tito Clockers. This is X once again. Peace out. Happy weekend. Bye.
All right, X. Good job there. No, I had the sisig thing for lunch earlier. Yeah, I had like the sisig. I put them in the air fryer. The lumpia. I put like 4 or 5 of them with the rice. That's all I had. Just the sisig lumpia. With why are you looking at me like parang galit ka, but you don't eat pork? X is looking like, why? Like with this jealous face, like, why? How dare you? How dare you eat alone without? You don't eat pork. All right. Anyway, it was good. So for pork lovers, I really enjoyed it. It was really good. And I'm yet to tackle. There's a big tray there as well. So to all our Free Plug Friday people, thank you so much. It's always cool having you guys. I'm going to just turn this light off because I think it's leaking. It's like a light leak. Yeah. Yeah, there's a bit of a light leak going on. All right. So, okay. Really enjoyed the sisig, really enjoyed everything of the Free Plug Friday crowd because, as we said, Free Plug Friday is something very close to all of our hearts here because, well, we ourselves are kind of a product ourselves of a Free Plug Friday because when we pivoted from before, I used to do all these live events, used to do live pageant hosting, live TV hosting, all that kind of jazz, and boom, pandemic hit, and we certainly know what it's like. So had to pivot, had to reinvent, readjust, and kind of just came up with the show from nothing. So we do understand where people are coming from, and that's why we want to extend the support to them. Once again, it's Deaconitis. It's scrolling on the bottom there. Deaconitis on Instagram, and that'll go straight to X, and she will schedule you for your Free Plug Friday. It won't cost you a cent, because if it did, we can't call it Free Plug Friday anymore. Boom! Okay, so we cleared out quite a lot already. We've done the news, we've done Free Plug Friday, we've done all the housekeeping stuff. Now it's on to the meat and potatoes, as they say, which is the main event. I did mention this several times today. I posted it. I also went on TikTok Live, and I asked people to come over. I hope there's some of you from there over here joining us right now, because I think this is a very, very important issue. We've got another, I would call it like a part 2 brewing of the Shangri-La BGC catastrophe that happened in 2018, almost today. I think I was reading articles today, February 20, where the reports are coming out of 2018, so 3 years ago. And that didn't end well for anyone, really. So it's surprising to see that the same thing in the same area is starting again. And this involves relocating cats who have been sort of native to that area, even though they are technically in some way classified as strays. They are being taken care of by some of the residents. So I brought on a few residents from the area to discuss this matter. I just want to say clearly that I did invite RLC, which is the condominium group that have been accused of this, or are being basically accused of this. And I did ask for a representative to react to it. I did get a call about 7 or 8 minutes before 5 o'clock, and they did politely decline the invitation to this podcast. I can kind of understand that they might have felt that they weren't prepared, but I did send messages 2 days ago. So that's just to be completely transparent about where we're coming from with this podcast. We're not here to sensationalize. We're not here to bash. We're here to learn. And with that, I'm going to bring up 3 residents from the area. Please welcome up Corrine. We've got Marcel, and we've got Karen. Not necessarily their real names. I don't know. They look like they're in the witness protection program, but we totally understand. If you watch Netflix, the Don't F with Cats, you would also, everyone would want to be in the witness protection program, especially RLC right now. But guys, just to start it off on the right tone. I'm an animal lover myself, but just for the sake of getting this discussion going, I'll play a bit more of the advocate of the casual, or maybe even the animal. I wouldn't say hater, but let's just play with somebody who's not sensitive to animals. Can I just play that role?
Sure.
Okay.
The ignorant person.
Just like to bring up the questions that might be coming up from casuals that may not feel comfortable asking, because it's a very, very sensitive topic. When you talk about animal rights, it can get very, very explosive. So let's start from the beginning. This is not a new problem, right? There are cats in BGC. Anyone can take this. Marcel, you look like you're ready to go.
Oh.
You look like you're excited to take this question. Perhaps you want to start off with this. What's the problem we're dealing with right now? Try and give people a picture.
I believe it's the same old thing that happened with when I reported about, what was it, 2-3 years ago, that happened in
3
Shangri-La.
years.
And yeah, it's actually it happened in February. I remember a week after February, that's when I made a post about what happened, because we have a group that feeds all those cats over there, and then all of a sudden they disappeared, right? And now, there's been cats ever since 2017 that's been disappearing over in the Tryon Towers.
Okay, so the
And
basic problem we're dealing with. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Please finish. You finish first. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not actually a resident of the Tryon Towers. I'm just a very concerned citizen. I mean, we live to a certain par over here in BGC, and we'd like to keep it that way. Everybody's pretty much compassionate around, in the community. And yeah, we're just trying to help these guys, survive out here. Everybody has the right to live.
Okay, and right. So Marcel, we're dealing with a problem with basically developers relocating the cats that live there. So by playing the casual here right now, or somebody doesn't understand animal rights, what do you say to people who say, well, you know what, they damage vehicles, or they're pests, or they smell? How do you exterminate them? I know that's a horrible word, but how do we get rid of them?
Well, actually, yeah, actually, I would think that, they don't really damage vehicles. They're lightweights. I don't think cats can actually scratch or key your car. The number one thing that I've heard with the some of the residents that do complain is that it smells like poop around the area, which the people of Tryon were nice enough to actually have like litter boxes built around certain areas of the towers. So I think that's the main problem. But I believe it's just that, there's always going to be people that think that cats are pests.
Okay. I'm glad you brought that up, because we've got a couple of residents here, Corrine and Karen. Either one of you can answer this. I understand it, and please correct me if I'm wrong, that you as residents have grouped together and are actually already paying for the kitty litter, and the TNVR, which we will explain in just a little bit. Is that accurate? Are you already pitching in for the control of these cats, the proper control?
Yes, I'll let Karen talk to you, run by you what initiatives have been ongoing.
Okay.
Uh, Hi, James. Yes, we have been paying for the TNB all of the cats together with our upkeep, their daily food. I'm one of the feeders here in Island community, and all our all our beloved community cats are at least some of them are neutered and we paid for it, and the rest were what else what was removed by RLC sometime in 2019.
Okay, so I have a very detailed timeline that was given to me by your group, I believe, and this problem's been going on since 2017. So it's not a new problem. My understanding of it, again, feel free to correct me if I misunderstood anything, is that these cats are already under control, and the problem that we're facing right now is, and I only learned this recently because I'm not that into it, but of course I understand that when you remove cats from the area that have already been trapped, neutered, vaccinated, and then released, you will create a vacuum effect. Can someone explain what that vacuum effect is?
Karen, would you like to explain or? Okay, I'll explain. So what happens with vacuum effect is when cats are removed, currently we have community cats that are already neutered and spayed and vaccinated, and they're all healthy. And if they're vaccinated and spayed and neuter, then that means the female cats cannot get pregnant, and the male cats can't are they're sterilized. So there's no whatever they're the mating and the pregnancy is controlled. And so when cats are TNVR'd, as we used to as we say use the word, they become healthy and they don't carry diseases because they're already vaccinated from distemper and whatever else diseases, and so they are healthy and happy, which means that they don't scratch, which means that they don't bother anybody, and which means that they just keep to themselves because they know that there's food for them and there's litter boxes there for them. So they don't, they really pretty much keep to themselves. So when you TNVR the cat, you'll see one of their ear is tipped. So that's actually proof that the cat has been spayed or neutered. So when you take away these healthy cats and remove them from a specific area or territory, then there becomes a vacuum that needs to be filled. And so the cats from, let's say, the next building, or the cats on across the street or on the construction site, they will immediately fill the vacuum and occupy the vacated space. And these are the cats that were not vaccinated. These are the cats that are unneutered, unspayed, and that might carry diseases. And that's how it goes. That's what vacuum effect is like. So you remove, you catch and dump, doesn't work. So you catch and you dump them, and then a new group of cats would come and occupy the space. And these are not the healthy cats because they haven't been neutered, spayed, and vaccinated. So it's like a cycle.
That gives us a clear picture. So there's a natural population control within their own community, right? So cats, obviously, when they're neutered, they can no longer reproduce. But are you saying that they also naturally keep their numbers down? Like other stray cats from other areas don't like to because they're territorial? Is
Yes,
that
yes,
what I'm
yes, yes, James.
So
That's
it's a
exactly
natural.
right.
Okay. So now, having said all that, or hearing all of that, what why is RLC choosing to do the catch and dump if this is such an accepted way of handling cats? Where do you think they're going wrong? What do you think they're trying to achieve? Is this coming from ignorance? What's the problem?
Karen, would you like to?
Yeah, sure. Um, well, I think the problem is because there are some residents who's not pro cats or not aware of the vacuum effect or not aware of the TNVR and that it's already been in place, and they choose to eradicate. They still believe that eradicating cats is the best solution for the community. So
Mm,
RLC and the colliers, the property building management, has established this cat management policy, wherein the bottom line of the policy is to eventually eradicate cats and put them into town for their killing. But that's not how it works. It's been an ongoing problem even prior to 2017. There has been Cara has project TNVR project within Tryon prior to 2017. But again, they opted to remove those cats, so the vacuum effect took place again and was replaced by another batch of cats, which we took care of from 2017 to 2020. But again, they still insist that the solution is eradicating cats, which I don't understand. It's
okay.
like going in
Uh,
circles.
wow. Marcel, maybe you'd probably be best placed to answer this one. You were known or identified as one of the key players there in the Shangri-La BGC 2018, right? As you said, you got that movement going and it became extremely viral. To this day, I noticed that the page of Shangri-La is still at 1.5 stars because that was one of the effects that happened, right? That everyone jumped on their page and they went down to 1 star, and it's now that's it, 1.5 stars after 3 years. They still can't break out of that. Why would you think somebody would want to go down that path? And that's one question. The other question is, are these cats protected by a Republic Act?
I believe they should be protected because there's some things I looked up in the Republic Act that you can't really endanger them from what it says, and it's actually endangering them if you're trying to remove them and dump them off somewhere where they don't belong, right? It's the same thing that happened with the Shangri-La incident when they did say that they had relocated the cats, relocated by a pest control company, right? So that's what they're using nowadays. I mean, there's another condo down not too far from Tryon that's doing the same thing. So it's an ongoing thing. I believe it's ignorance. I believe also it's just um, heartless. It's a heartless act. Whatever's happening, it's just I believe that maybe they just think of cats as pests. I would know this because I actually used to be one of those kind of people until I adopted a cat about 7 years ago. So it kind of turned me it turned me around on my views of what cats are. 'Cause I'm a dog person. But yeah, I think it's just ignorance and people just still look at them as pests at the end of the day.
Look, because I understand where, or I'm trying to understand where developers are coming from. Obviously, they're in business, they have residents in a high end area
Yeah.
like BGC. They're trying to make sure their customers are taken care of. And if you spend that much per square meter, you should walk out and not smell poop and all that. But there's the other side of the coin, which is like, well, we could even do the same for trees. Just because a tree is in front of your view, you can't just cut it down. It's not as simple as that. You have to go through the DENR. So I'm leading to the question of how do you think this should be handled? Do you think that this should be removed from private corporations making the decision, and instead the city of Taguig or BGC as a group being the one handle this because have the same vested interests as some of the private developers? How do you see this best being handled moving forward?
Moving forward, I think that the city of the Taguig actually needs to step in so that most of the time, a lot of these people, I understand, like even with John Rice, who was the, I'm not sure if he still is, the head of Shangri-La. He actually woke up and saw what happened. He was blinded to it. To him, people were actually just reporting, "Hey, there's cats coming into our basement and everything." So I would say it's not pure ignorance, but he was just ignorant to the fact that what happens after you remove those cats, more cats will move in. He learned that lesson, and obviously these other developers haven't. And when I did talk to the people, the management over in Tryon, and I'd mentioned to them, you don't want another Shangri-La incident to happen. I'm here to help you guys, and we want to protect the properties in BGC. We want to help you guys. We're not here to attack you or anything. But and then what they said, one of the managers said, "Oh, what happened at Shangri-La?" So she doesn't know.
Oh dear. Oh dear. That's like a president turning around going, "Why? What happened in World War II?"
Yeah,
Not a good place to start, right? It's like if you didn't know, you shouldn't be sitting where you're sitting right now. I was
exactly.
just Yeah, I was just doing a bit of research before the show, and I also came across the date, which is February 20. So it's almost to the day 3 years
Yeah,
ago, and all the Google searches I came up with for the BGC cats, and if you type in Shangri-La, it's all apologies from Shangri-La. So there is a clear
yeah,
precedent of a very reputable company already calling out the error of their ways and saying, "Don't do this. Don't do this." Is
yeah,
already, you couldn't get a better lesson than the people who were actually they're apologizing, and now you're explaining the reason behind it. It's not just a
yeah,
personal advocacy of it creates a bigger problem. For those of our just joining us, what I'm learning so far in this conversation and in the research to it is that there is a natural occurrence here that happens where cats will kind of in a way police their own community as long as they are neutered and vaccinated. And when you remove
very
them,
true.
what's going to happen is that void will be filled by unvaccinated cats. You got to go through the whole process again. And in between that time, if you don't trap them in time, they could be leaving some diseases and stuff like that. So you're literally messing with the balance of nature in a way. Was that a fair enough statement, or is that
Yeah, you're on the point with that one.
okay? Because I mean, I'm with you here too. I mean, I don't want to bash any private company or any. I understand that it's just let's work together with this. But this is why I reached out privately, and this is why I spent a couple of days before I posted anything, because I really wanted to give them a chance. But it does seem also on my end, I was just getting the only reply I really got, aside from the phone call about 5 minutes before we went on air, was basically saying, "Oh, we've heard rumors about things that are posted that saying we're not good to cats, and that's not true." And it was just such a
Yeah,
generic message. And I did bring it up with the person who called me. I said, that's because their reasoning was, and I can understand, I'm not bashing them for this, it's too emotional. If they were to come on the podcast now, it would be too emotional, and I don't think would get anywhere. I can understand that, but I did have to point out it's emotional because there's a lack of transparency and a lack of communication. This is what's getting people all riled up. Don't just
yeah,
ignore it, sweep it under the carpet, and pretend that you know what you're doing when you obviously don't. This is not new. And would anybody like to add anything that we haven't covered yet? Maybe start with
Kareem
you, myself.
or
You're on the screen.
that's it. I just want to know that I'm a concerned citizen over here in BGC. I love this community. I barely leave the BGC bubble, and we're not here trying to attack these developers and corporations. We're actually here trying to help them out, and that's one thing that how I explained it to them. Like, even if it's something that would anger me or what they're doing, of course, on my end, I also understand that they don't understand what's going on. They don't know anything about cats or stray animals and all that. So we're not trying to attack. We just like for you guys to just be genuine about what's going on. It's as you can see, it's a touchy subject for a lot of people, especially when this hits online and all over Facebook and all that. It's just gonna get worse. So, let's just try not to be defensive about it. And why don't we just all work together to solve a problem? That's what communities actually do.
Very well said. Thank you, Marcel. And Karen or Corinne, do you want to add anything before we go?
Sure. Our main goal is for RLC to sign a memorandum of agreement with Gara that they will not round up the cats and they will be neutered and they will be taken care of. And they will be able to stay within the property without any threat to their lives. That's what we've been working on, but they've been refusing to do so.
So an MOA with Kara just to make sure that they follow the proper guidelines in however they need to rehome. And Corinne, any last things you'd like to say? Perhaps maybe you can focus on how people can help if there are people out
Yeah.
there just watching, not from
Yes.
RLC, but just anyone.
I think let's not look down on the puspins. They are still animals. They, just because they're puspins, people think that they're unworthy of saving or worthless. So they're all living creatures, and we need to show a little bit of compassion, not only to the stray animals, but also especially during the pandemic when stray animals are in need of our help. And the only thing we want is RLC, of course, to listen to the experts, listen to Kara, and be compliant with their responsibility of looking after the community. And we're not here, as Marcel said, to bash or criticize. We want them to work with us. We've been begging for them to work with us, and we are here now because of the unresponsiveness that we are getting from them. So thank you so much, James, for giving us this platform to speak up and for sharing our story. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. And anything, for those who haven't got the capacity to speak for themselves, like animals, this platform will always be open for them. So I thank you all for joining us, Marcel, Karen, and Corinne. Thank you for all speaking out. And I hope we can bring this to somewhere where we can finally sit down as a group. I already spoke to BGC just before we went on air, and I informed them of the problem. I gave them the brief, the timeline that was shared with me with names and dates and stuff. So they were also very concerned because they didn't realize it was this quite had gotten this bad. So now the city is involved as well, and hopefully we can do something to protect the cats. Thanks again,
that's all
guys.
we want. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, James.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, James.
All right. So there you go. That was, I tell you what, I mean, I'm just a little puzzled, to be honest, because as a business, I think it would be pretty obvious not to steer yourself into this direction. It can't end well if you're going to go up against animal rights activists, especially when we've got such a strong precedent with the Shangri-La BGC. Once again, when I say Shangri-La BGC, it's not with any judgment, because they've learned, they've apologized, they've moved on. And I think people should get credit for that when they change their ways or they acknowledge. But to see new developers come in or not even hear about the Shangri-La BGC drama, that's a problem. And hopefully we can get through this show, through your support, some more action done. And all they're asking for is really just an MOA. They're not asking for money. They're not asking even the the company to pay. They're already paying for the what they call the T, Trans, Neuter, Vaccinate, Release, TNVR. They're already paying for that. They're not asking for donations for that. They're just asking to stay within the CARA guidelines or the humane guidelines on how to deal with street cats. So that's it. I don't think it's an unreasonable thing to request. And people from RLC are listening. The line is still open. As you noticed, nobody was bashing. Nobody was getting on there and leaving you no graceful exit out. We really do understand that, you're trying to solve a problem for your residents, but it has to work in harmony with animal rights as well. So that's all. And I think it's a fair request. And with that, speaking of animal rights, give me that raffle dog. Come on, raffle dog. This raffle dog over here is, you okay there, Rocket? You're looking a little stunned. Yeah, because Rocket's like, I didn't know there was such a thing as street cats. I thought everyone had a home. See, Rocket, you live in a bubble. That's a problem. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Just like it's not the street cat's fault. They live on the street. It's not your fault. You live in a loving home. All right. It's not your fault. Also, you have to work for your money. There you go. Work for you. Press that button, Rocket. Come on, Rocket. This is how you make Bowie for being so cute. You go and work. You got to do your thing. You got to hurry up because he's getting restless. He's like, What's today's prize, Rocket? It is a Transcend dashcam. Rocket, ready? Whoop. Give everybody, look at his face. Whoop. 1, 2, 3. Get that hairy paw. Get that hairy paw. Rocket. Rocket. All right, Rocket. Help your friends out with BBC. Oh, Rocket. Okay. We actually took Rocket. Wasn't the BGC cats, but it was in around the Rockwell area. And he met them. He's like, just give me your Instagram account, man. And like, we don't have an Instagram? Why? I thought I have an Instagram. I thought every animal would have no, Rocket, not everyone has a smartphone, Rocket. So just be kind to those who are less fortunate, right? Oh, he's so cute. He's licking and licking. Oh, we got one of our Tito Clockers tuned in. He's celebrating his birthday. Kurt Joshua Torres. Hey, Kurt. What's up? Happy birthday to you, man. I hope you have a great day. And Kurt's he's been such a great guy. He's been following for years and years and years. I know this. Do you know what year he started? It was a long time ago. I've been chatting with Kurt for like years and years. And so happy birthday, man. I hope you have an awesome day. And even Rocket's like greeting you now with licks. So that's pretty much all we have time for. We have a winner. We have Kevin. Can you flash up the winner again? Just as Kevin Casiano, you've won the Transcend Dashcam. And also, I think the biggest winners here are hopefully the BGC cats and cats in general or animals in general, because it's not just, like I said, about a certain area. It's not about one community. This is about, look, our animals have rights. We got to respect them. We just can't keep, for the sake of developing, for the sake of creature comforts, for the sake of, oh, look, I pay a certain premium for this place and I don't want to come out and see a cat in my area. Look, I'm sorry, but the cats were there kind of before you, right? I mean, we got to share this earth. So anyway, you got your nice indoor areas where you can do that, and just a little bit of tolerance outside, and let them share your home as well. All right, so with that, we're wrapping up the bridge. Oh, of course. I thought, because there's also that bridge that's almost finished right there. Oh, speaking of bridge, we'd like to thank, of course, our sponsor Bridgestone, who have been amazing throughout this whole entire Tito Clock. These guys have been supportive since day one, and we can't thank you enough for it. So to everyone tuned in, thank you very much for joining us. Always be kind to one another and stay sanitized. Bye. Bye, everybody.
Fancy meeting you in my internet. Couldn't help but notice your smile while everybody else around us is surfing about. Can we just stop and chat a while? Get away from these gray and boring, lonesome days of our quarantine. Early yet to say what lies ahead. It's just the first day of the rest of our lives. Love could be waiting at the end of this quarantine. Let's stop and talk a while. Let's stop and talk a while.